Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is August 28th, 2024, and La Liga have rejected Barcelona's proposal to use the contract draft of the Nike deal. Also, the club's priorities have changed given Marc Bernal's injury. And finally, Unai Hernandez has been called up to training. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and as I've mentioned before, I am still out of the country. This is why I'm bringing you this short live stream to keep you up to date on all Barcelona news. This is not a podcast, so I won't be reading the chat section out loud. Also, it's going to be pretty short, just 8 to 10 minutes to bring you the latest news regarding our beloved club, FC Barcelona. And I haven't said all that. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. All of this helps the channel continue to grow. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the Goal Kits, Kit Bag, or Fanatics. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. All links are down below in the description. Now, let's begin with the news, and we're beginning with bad news. In fact, there's a lot of bad news in this video. So strap into this roller coaster that we like to call FC Barcelona. But let's start with the biggest bad news of today, because La Liga have rejected Barcelona's offer to use the draft of the contract of the Nike deal. Now, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, Barcelona were trying to use the draft of the contract to get it approved and reach the 1-to-1 rule. As you know, Barcelona have been in negotiations with Nike for quite some time to renew the contract between both parties for 10 more years, where Nike would pay Barcelona approximately 90 million euros per season and another 125 to 150 million euros signing bonus. As you might recall, Barcelona did file a lawsuit against Nike to try to sever the contract between the two. The trial court in Spain ruled in favor of Nike, saying that Barcelona could not sever the contract. Barcelona have appealed that decision. However, that ruling by the trial court have delayed these negotiations because all of a sudden Nike felt emboldened by this decision, because in other words, they can just tell Barcelona, I don't have to renew with you. I don't have to do anything. You can't sever the contract. We could just keep under the same contract. So it kind of gave Nike more power, negotiating power. And as such, the negotiations between the two got delayed. And Barcelona were hoping to finalize a pre-agreement between both parties by Friday, which is the end of the summer transfer market. And Barcelona were hoping to use a contract draft. So not the actual contract signed by both parties, but a draft of that contract. Barcelona were hoping to present that draft to La Liga, to have La Liga approve the deal as if it has been signed in order to achieve the 1-1 rule. However, today La Liga have informed Barcelona that they're not going to approve that draft, that they want to see an actual contract, that they want to see more guarantees from Barcelona that this deal between them and Nike will actually go through. Now, why did La Liga do this? La Liga did this because, as you might recall, last season, Barcelona presented, or I think it was 2 seasons ago, Barcelona presented a viability plan telling La Liga we promise to do certain things in order to achieve financial stability, such as cutting expenses all across the board, increasing the revenue, and of course, there was that Barca Vision deal. Now, when Barcelona submitted that plan, they hadn't fulfilled it yet, but La Liga said, okay, this plan looks good. We're going to allow you some margin. We're going to allow you to sign players, even though you're not allowed to. And Barcelona did indeed sign players, and La Liga did allow them to register those players. And Barcelona met all those goals on the viability plan, such as increasing their revenue and cutting down their expenses. However, as you might recall, the Barca Vision ended up being a mess, where the German investment fund who bought part of Barca Vision did not fulfill all their payments. So La Liga now told Barcelona, look, before you promised us all these things were going to happen, we allowed you to do it, and you didn't go through. So therefore, we cannot approve the pre-agreement draft between you and Nike. We need more guarantees. We need to see more proof, because we already learned your lesson with you, and we ended up, getting screwed over it. So La Liga have rejected the proposition for Barcelona to use the draft of the contract, and as such, Barcelona are now in trouble because the summer transfer market closes in 2 days. And Barcelona really need the Nike deal approved so they can reach the 1-to-1 rule. They can register players. And also, as you know, Barcelona were hoping to make some last-minute signings or some last-minute reinforcements for the team. Now, more bad news because it's been confirmed what I feared yesterday, which I talked about during the post-match live analysis, which is that Marc Bernal has indeed torn his ACL. Now, Bernal suffered an injury yesterday in that match against Rayo Vallecano. He was seen limping off the field, and it was initially thought that he had a torn ACL, and after undergoing medical exams today, that has indeed been confirmed. Marc Bernal has torn his ACL, and that injury has also impacted his meniscus. So this is the same as what happened to Gabi, where Gabi also tore his ACL and his meniscus was impacted. So it looks like Marc Bernal's season is officially over, which is a huge blow not only to the player who's only 17 years old, but it's a huge blow to the team because Barcelona had finally, after so long, found a solution for the pivot position, and now that solution is pretty much gone with Marc Bernal being out for the rest of the season. Now, it's reported that Bernal will undergo surgery, and it's the same surgeon who operated on Gabi will be operating on Marc Bernal, which at least that's a silver lining because we know that Marc Bernal is in good hands, and we wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully he can come back from this stronger and better. Now, given that Marc Bernal has been injured and has been out, will be out for the rest of the season, it's reported that Barcelona's priorities have now changed. Now, the club's number one priority was to sign someone for the left wing. You know, they were considering someone like Koeman on loan or Chiesa on a permanent transfer. But now that Marc Bernal has been injured, the priorities have changed to sign another pivot. Now, Hansi Flick fully trusts in the current squad that he has. He trusts in the academy players. He believes that Eric Garcia would be a good choice for the pivot position. He also believes that Andreas Christensen could play in that role, even though Christensen will be out for 2 months due to injury. And of course, he still has Marc. But despite Flick trusting in the players that he has, it's reported that Barcelona are still on the hunt now for someone for the pivot position, someone on a short-term basis, because Barcelona, of course, continue to fully trust Marc Bernal to be the long-term solution. So then now in the market looking for a possible signing for the pivot position. And in fact, it's reported that Deco was in Portugal visiting his family because it was his birthday. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And Barcelona immediately called him and said, you need to be on standby because as soon as we can clear up this whole financial fair play mess, you have to start moving in the market to bring someone for the midfield. Now, finally, the last bit of news is that given Marc Bernal's injury, Unai Hernandez has been officially called up to training. Now, the 19-year-old midfielder, who's one of the captains for Barca Athletic now, has been impressive in Barcelona's academy for quite some time. In fact, Hansi Flick called him up to the preseason. However, he was not able to get that many minutes because he was suffering some physical problems. But now that Marc Bernal has been injured, it's reported that Flick has called up Unai Hernandez to trainings with the first team. Now, Unai Hernandez is not a pivot like Marc Bernal. However, he is a versatile midfielder where he can play as an interior and on the wings as well. And of course, Barcelona or Flick calling up Unai Hernandez given Marc Bernal's injury. So hopefully Unai Hernandez can get his shot and prove himself worthy of a spot on the first team. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I will be going live as soon as I end this one in like a few minutes because there is more news coming out of Barcelona, including offers for 2 players that Barcelona have made today. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.